All right, so we are going to do a lesson about painting trees. So there are multiple steps. So this is the first video, so painting trees 1. And this says start by painting thick to thin lines using a small round brush. So there are a couple different supplies we need to get. First of all, we obviously need paint if we're going to be painting. You can use any color. We're using tempera paint, so it's a little bit thinner and a little easier to use. I'm going to use this blue just because this is an old student palette, and so I am going to be using a paint that otherwise would go into the garbage. You are also going to need a small round brush. Sometimes I call these thin brushes or detail brushes. So here are 3 different ones that we could use. I'll put them over the table so you can see. This is a really small one. I really like these like blue handle ones. This one's a little bit longer, so it'll hold the paint a little bit longer, but sometimes they're a little bit harder to use. And then this is a little thicker, so if you need a like thicker tree or something, you would use this green one. For the sake of this video, I'm going to use the green one so that it shows up really well. The key thing is that the end of this should be rounded. If you end up grabbing a paintbrush like this isn't going to work. Okay, we're going to use this for a different step of the trees. So a small or thin round brush. Here I have some lines already drawn for you. Then I have some dots that we're going to connect. When I say a thick to thin line, it means we want the bottom down here to be really thick and we want the top to be as thin as possible. And we want it to be kind of smooth in between. Now, I have kind of shaky hands. I don't know if some of you have shaky hands. So my line might not be a perfect straight line. That's fine. This is about practicing our brush control, but also trees aren't perfect straight lines anyway. So I'm going to start by loading up my paintbrush with paint. If I get too much, I kind of wipe it off on the edge. Okay. Then I'm going to go to the bottom of the tree and notice how my hand is above where the paint is. I'm not painting like this because this I would have to push my paintbrush and it'd get messy. I want to be able to pull straight up and drag my paintbrush. So my hand should be up on top of where the bristles are. I'm going to put my paintbrush down right on the bottom of that line, and I'm going to push it all the way down. It's going to make a little splotch. Now I'm going to start slowly dragging my paintbrush up. And as I'm dragging it up, I am also slowly lifting it up off the paper. So dragging it up and lifting up off the paper. And I'm trying to reach all the way to the top. Okay. Now I've been doing this for a long time and I've painted tons of thick to thin lines, doing my own paintings and helping students and teaching them this all the time. So I make it look easy. Some of you might catch on to it right away, but it's okay if you don't. Sometimes they take a lot of practice. I've had students fill like multiple sheets of this in thick to thin lines before they get it right. So I'm gonna try another one. I think this might be a little too thick down here, and I don't think I got quite thin enough up top. So I'm gonna load up my paintbrush again, go to the bottom. I'm gonna push it down again, just not quite as much because I want it a little thinner than what I had. And I'm gonna start going up. All right. I think I improved from the first one to the second one. We're going to try our third one following that line. Oop, that's a little too much paint. All right, put it down. Drag it up. Oh, I didn't lift up quick enough. So here you can see that I kind of started to run out of paint there too. That's okay. If you run out of paint, you can get a little bit more. Go back to the middle, push your paintbrush down until your new paint matches the edges of your old paint, and then you just pick it up and you go from there. Well, got a little too much there. I think the middle one's my best one. All right, now I'm going to try to draw a thick to thin line without having a line to follow, but I have 2 dots. So thick, dragging up, lifting up, lifting up, lifting up, lifting up. All right. Feel like I'm getting a little more control of the brush. And again, I've done this a lot of times. I'm probably going way faster than you guys should be going. There we go. I like that one. If you've done these ones already and you feel like you need to practice more, there's some space in here. You could add some more. Maybe you find that it's easier to like turn your paper to the side and drag it a little more sideways instead of up and down. You can absolutely do that. After you practice the ones with the lines drawn and with the ones with the dots, now you're going to try some down here. Now, the biggest mistake I see happening for students is they go to draw one. I'm going to put it over here. They go to do one and they put it all the way down and then they go up like this. And it ends up only being teeny tiny. This we're not going to be able to really turn into a good tree. We want our trees to be much taller. The part we're actually painting right now is going to become the center of the tree for our pine tree. So make sure that you are dragging all the way up towards those words. And I ran out of a little paint there. I don't think I mind that because it still made the nice shape. If I want to fix it again, I can go back over it, put it down, and drag some lines up. On this bottom part, I want you guys to draw at least 6. We did 6 up top with my help. Then I want you to do 6 on the bottom part without my help. And if you need to do more, please do more. You can grab a blank sheet of paper. We can staple them together. If you need to pause this video, if you need to rewind this video, that's what it's here for. If you're really not getting it, go ahead, grab yourself a pencil, and if the line helped, go ahead, draw a line. If the dots help, go ahead and put dots on. All right, your turn.